Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 7 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, October 30th. So, 6 more trading days until we see what the Fed has up their sleeves for the next one. Looks like another quarter point rate cut. But until then, and of course, we have the election coming up. So we should make a little bet, or not a little bet, but take a little poll. What do you think is going to happen first? Presidential results next week or the Fed decision on Thursday at 2? Do you think we'll know who the winner is by Thursday at 2 p.m. next week? I highly doubt it, looking at the polls. So as we look at where we're at right now and what we had going on yesterday, the Russell just kind of split this down uh, and just really just washed one day under the previous day's value area with a little bit of a lift all day up. Come down, touched those single prints, lifted right back up to value area, and just stayed right there. Looking at the Dow, very similar. Opened up right at the bottom of these single prints, traded down, back up through them, and then closed back in them at the end of the day. Looking at the ES and the Nasdaq, the ES was caught a little bit in between, but kind of went through value, went up over yesterday's high, found no buyers, right? So the auction was exhausted, come back down. And then you've got the NASDAQ, which we've been talking about. It's been the stronger on weekdays. It has been the strongest, and on strong days, it has been the strongest. So the NASDAQ has come into a period of outperformance once again. So we had a split at 20,603 quarter. That was kind of a stall period, and then we, come back up into highs, and then, just a little bit of a sell-off into the close, and not too much going on. But if we look at what that did to structure, we had salmon run trades go off. Excuse me. We had salmon run trades go off, meaning we had trades go off above the bell high of the day before the session closed on the Russell, the NASDAQ, and the ES yesterday. We have some single prints on the ES and the NASDAQ from yesterday. So, really, that's what we need to watch. And I think we can still pay attention to this split. That's going to be really my bias point for the next few sessions, I think. Still right at this 20,603 quarters where I'll be watching to see if we can, maintain anything above it. And I think, we've got these signal prints right here around this 20,650 level. We'll get the exact number here in a minute that we can look to as well. Looking at the title of my video is, Microsoft and Meta up next because that is where we are right now in the earnings season. So we got those tonight, right? Then we've got tomorrow night we have Apple and Amazon. So Meta and Microsoft tonight, and then we're also going to have core PCE tomorrow and non-farm payroll on Friday. So still quite a few events that are noteworthy for the week. If we look at positioning real quick, there's nothing really in today's positioning that is as strong as yesterday's. Yesterday we hit that 497 that lined up pretty close to that 603 level and on the NQ, and that was the resistance. And then we come back over it. There was about 35,000 contracts there. So the biggest contracts we have today are, under 8,000 for calls and under 10,000 for puts. So nothing really, it's a little bit more of a fair game. Nothing really there for positioning that you can hang your hats on for an above or below level. For the SPY, you've got the SPY is currently trading 581. You've got 587, and then you've got 575 would be your marker to the downside with 581 is really where we're currently trading this nub here. So below 580, things get a little bit probably pushing towards this 575, holding above 580 to 582, and we could just be in this, 580 to 582 until we can figure out, where we want to test the auction the rest of the day. Looking at the cash index, and again, there's really nothing that stands out here as well. We are basically unchanged right now. So 58.31 is where we are on the cash market if we were to open right now. And you can see, we're right in the middle of basically 58.10 to 5800 up to 58.50. Looking at, we have this balance that's really between 58.50, let's call it, up to 59.14. We're kind of in the middle of that. Yesterday's point of control, 58.71 half. So we're trading just slightly under that. See if that trades, either above or below. We're so close to it right now, we could really open up on either side of that today. And then what I really want to see is if we can hold on the NQ somewhere between this 20,680 to 20,652, and then the next thing I'd be watching would be that 603 area below that really comes into these highs that go back to October 17th and October 22nd. For the ES, really, you're just still sitting here treading water in this very long consolidation period that really runs from that 58, 55 up to that 58.14, 58.20 area that we were talking about. 58.20 to the downside should be support somewhere between there and 58.08. We'll have to see if we get a test down there if that does hold. And if we look left on the chart, overnight actions about 27 points right now. And if we look left on the chart, you can see that we've been slowly consolidating up here in this realm, and we could come back to the middle of this area, which would be right around 57, 67 in these single prints that are at 57, 55 to 64 basically. This is the magnet draw from 73 down to this 55 on some serious weakness. That should be support, and then we'd have to see if you just actually hold there. The other scenario I've watched is just a complete flush and wash from down and some consolidation between 57.22 to 5700. That's 140 points lower than we're currently trading after this long consolidation period. We'll have to see if we can get there in the next session or two, to be honest with you. It'll be in the pudding. So we've got our markers, as I mentioned. We got this first set of single prints right here on the NQ. That's going to be my first line of focus this morning, 20,645 to 20,648 basically. And then I'll be watching those levels on the one time framing and then the 603. But to make it simple, you could just watch these two markers to start with. And this 603 should be an above or below level that we could get. What I'd like to see is, on a best case scenario, I think for the bulls, is you trade value area low and you don't even touch these single prints, or you just touch them and respond back off of them. If you get below these prints, it better be short-lived, or you are going to get a nasty pullback probably that starts with just fear and rising up in the VIX. So we'll have to see if that is on the table or not. But right now, just basically coming back into this top set of single prints, and we'll have to see where it goes from here. For the ES, those single prints are going to be right at that 58, 55 to or let's just call it 54 to 58, as we said. So those are my main focuses this morning. Back up above if we get there later, and you can see how as we've lost 58, 86 basically in the overnight session, that has been resistance. So if you come back across it later, that should be support. And we'll have to see if that's even on the table that you can, print back up above there. If that becomes support, you could potentially hit up to 59.13. Otherwise, on a royal flush downwards or a diver down scenario, 58.10 to 58.11 is really what you're looking at. And to be honest with you, that is totally on the table. That's, just another 50 points down from where we are right now. So no big deal to get there, to be honest with you. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Keep in mind, get out of the markets tonight at the closing bell. Don't be screwing around here between 4 and 5 o'clock.